Welcome to Loremaster, the series where we will be completing the main storyline quests for every zone in World of Warcraft, with the goal of obtaining the Loremaster achievement. Starting off with Loremaster of the Eastern Kingdoms. So let's get into the video. Our journey through Redridge Mountain begins in a watchtower near the border between Elwyn Forest, Duskwood and Redridge Mountain. At the top of the tower we talk to Watch Captain Parker and hand in the hero's call to Redridge Mountain we received in Westfall. Watch Captain Parker then asks us to steal the Gnoll battle plans, Gnoll orders and Gnoll strategy guide from the nearby Gnoll camps. Gnoll activity in the area has nearly tripled in the last 2 weeks and he is worried there may be an assault on Lakeshire. At the bottom of the tower we pick up a quest from Darcy Parker to gather some tarantula eyes, condor giblets and gortus kidneys to feed the guards as their rations have run out. Then finally outside the tower we pick up a quest from a wanted poster to kill some gnolls in the nearby area. We collect the gnoll battle plans from the camp towards the north, kill the 15 gnolls from the wanted poster, then collect the tarantula eyes, condor giblets and gortus kidneys for Darcy, and finish collecting the Gnoll orders and Gnoll strategy guide. Back at the tower we hand the ingredients to Darcy, then head to the top to speak with Watch Captain Parker. We claim the bounty for killing the gnolls and also give him the Gnoll battle plans, orders and strategy guide we found. It turns out a gnoll named Yowler is behind this uprising and Watch Captain Parker wants us to inform Magistrate Solomon in Lakeshire immediately. In the Lakeshire Town Hall, we speak to Magistrate Solomon and hand in the quest we received from Marshal Stoutmantle at the end of the Westfall questline. We also give the Magistrate the report from Watch Captain Parker. The Magistrate tells us that citizens have been going missing and thinks that gnolls are responsible, but if we are to defeat the gnolls we must be properly equipped. So he wants us to find a gnome coder that was stolen by some marauding murlocs a week ago. Bailiff Conachur wants us to kill some murlocs in the Everstill Lake and also gives us the hero's call to Duskwood, which we will get to in the next video. Outside the town hall on the pier in Lakeshire we talk to Sean, who tells us his friend Nida lost her necklace in the lake and that they have been fishing for it all day but can't find it. So we jump into the lake and after dealing with some of the local wildlife we find the necklace after searching a mud pile at the bottom. We return to the pier and give Nida her necklace. She thanks us and tells us she knows how to speak cat and that her cat FC thanks us too. After helping the children we head over to the Murloc village in the Everstill Lake to the east. We find and retrieve the stolen gnome coder and finish up killing the Murlocs for the bailiff. Back at the Lakeshire Town Hall we inform the bailiff we've killed the Murlocs and collect our reward. Then we give the gnome coder we found to Magistrate Solomon. And after making a few adjustments he tells us to head north of Lakeshire to the graveyard to test if the gnome coder is transmitting. On the way to the graveyard we come across Marshal Maris, who tells us that gnolls raided their supply stores and wants us to recover some of their supply crates from the canyon to the northeast. At the graveyard Magistrate Solomon makes contact with us and it appears the gnome coder is transmitting, so now it's time to get to work. The first order of business is to head through the canyon to the northeast, killing every gnoll we see and collecting their collars as proof. While killing some gnolls we receive a dirt-covered scroll, revealing a gnoll called Dirtpaw has received an orb from the orcs that lets him control Etin things. We should probably investigate this more. We collect the supply crates and collect the last gnoll collar from the gnolls. Magistrate Solomon then contacts us again using the gnome coder, telling us that he has received some information that the Blockrock Orcs might be joining forces with the gnolls to plan an attack and wants us to head into the Wrethband Cavern and kill some orcs and search their bodies for more information. We receive a Blockrock missive from the corpse of an orc. Magistrate Solomon translates the orc missive and it reveals that the gnoll named Yowler is leading the orcs. So, we need to kill Yowler and retrieve the orc invasion plans. Deeper into the cavern we find Dirtpaw, the gnoll mentioned in the scroll we found earlier. We take the orb from its pedestal and gain the ability to control the Etin. We should use this Etin to remove the boulder from Foreman Oslo near Lakeshire. Outside the cavern we come across the Etin and use the orb to control it. Unfortunately the quest gets bugged and using the orb again here completes the quest, apparently removing the boulder from the Foreman back in Lakeshire. Before heading back to town, we discover Yowler in his den and kill him, taking the Orc invasion plans. Back in the Lakeshire Town Hall, we show the Blockrock invasion plans to Magistrate Solomon, and it looks like the Blockrock Orc General is planning to march his armies across Lakeshire and directly attack Stormwind. We also inform Solomon that we managed to remove the boulder from Oslo, apparently. Magistrate Solomon then starts talking about how the people of Lakeshire are finished and that he might as well call for an evacuation right now before the Orcs begin to march, and that it was right when they finally finished building the bridge. Colonel Troutman walks over and tells Solomon that there is hope, that he's served 248 consecutive tours of duty across the First, Second and Third Wars, that he was captured 5 years ago by a battalion of filthy pig-sucking Blackrocks 5 clicks out from the southern DMZ. He was tortured and kept alive as a urinal for young Orc warriors for 5 years. John J. Keeshan! Solomon seems surprised that Keeshan is alive and thought he died. Troutman responds that he's alive alright and has been living as an outcast in Lakeshire for the past 5 months. Hadn't Solomon noticed? Enough of this chatter, we've got people to save. After the conversation, Colonel Troutman tells us that John J. Keeshan served under Troutman in all of the 3 Great Wars, and that he has killed more Orcs than any man alive. The last Troutman heard, Keeshan was fighting in the underground fight club under the Lakeshire Inn, and wants us to go and tell Keeshan everything we know. Under the Lakeshire Inn, we find the fighting pit and John J. Keeshan. Keeshan is reluctant to help, telling us how he was captured for 5 years and used as a toilet by the Orcs, and when he finally escaped, he returned to his hometown. The people spat on him, called him baby Orc killer and all kinds of vile crap. This isn't his war and he refuses to help. Colonel Troutman refuses to give up on Keeshan and thinks we need to find a way to boost his spirits and rouse the slumbering monster within him. His plan starts with needing to get Keeshan's bow and hunting knife from 2 Orc lieutenants, and to begin reforming Keeshan's old battalion, Bravo Company, so Troutman asks us to search Arthur's Mill for any clues of them. Outside, we hand in the supply crates to Marshal Maris, who then asks us to kill some Blockrock Orcs to the north to slow down their attack plans. And Foreman Oslo asks us to recover some Orc spyglasses for his new surveying gear. At Arthur's Mill, we come across Messner in a cage, who now knowing that Keeshan is alive, agrees to help us if we free him from the cage. The key to the cage is stored in a pouch in the middle of a warg den, so we need to sneak in and steal the key. Carefully walking through the warg den so as not to wake any of them, we find the key in a pouch on a tree stump in the middle of the den, then return to Messner and free him from the cage. Messner tells us that another member of Bravo Company, Jorgensen, was being held at Render's camp to the northeast, and we will need to kill a witch, Araka the key mistress, who holds the key to Jorgensen's cage. But before we can free Jorgensen, we find the 2 Orc lieutenants who have Keeshan's weapons. After killing Murden and Homerk, we recover Keeshan's bow and his survival knife. Colonel Troutman then contacts us via the Gnome Coder, telling us there is one final mission he has for us. Keeshan's gear alone won't be enough, and that his heart also needs to be in the battle. We need to find Keeshan's red headband and his jade amulet, which were left to him by his wife, who was killed during the Blockrock Orc invasion. On the way to the Renders camp, we find Urok the key mistress and defeat her, retrieving the key to free Jorgensen. Then at the Renders camp, we finish collecting the 5 Blockrock Orc spyglasses and kill the last of the 25 Orcs. We manage to find Jorgensen's cage and free him with the key we collected. He knows where the 2 other members of Bravo Company, Krakow and Danforth are, but we must hurry as they're being prepared for a sacrifice. The sacrificial ritual is happening inside the cave and is being performed by a Gurubashi witch doctor, so we need to kill the troll and rescue Krakow. Inside the cave we find the Gurubashi witch doctor, a troll called Ritualist Tarak. We manage to kill the ritualist and stop the sacrifice. It just so happens that next to us we also find a Blockrock coffer, and after searching it we manage to recover Keeshan's headband and his jade amulet. We then wake Krakow on the sacrificial altar, and he tells us that we have to get to Danforth, and it might already be too late. The troll ritualist respawns and we have to kill him again, but skipping to the end of the fight we can talk to Krakow. He tells us that Danforth is being tortured on the other side of the cave, and Overlord Barbarius is holding the key to releasing Danforth. On the other side of the cave we come across Overlord Barbarius and see Danforth chained in the air. After killing Overlord Barbarius, we use the key we found on his body to unlock the lever and free Danforth, who falls into the pool of water below. Out of the water, Danforth tells us we have gained the respect and admiration of Bravo Company after managing to save all their hides, and that we should head back to Colonel Troutman in Lakeshire, and that Bravo Company will take care of Keeshan. Back in Lakeshire, we hand in Blockrock spyglasses to Foreman Oslo for his next project, a super bridge, and collect our bounty from Marshal Maris for killing the Blockrock Orcs. Returning to the town hall, we tell Colonel Troutman that we've managed to save all of the members of Bravo Company. There is no way that Keeshan could refuse us now. We also inform him that we found Keeshan's headband and his jade amulet. Now to return all of Keeshan's belongings to him under the Lakeshire Inn. Giving Keeshan his knife, bow, red headband and the jade amulet is enough to convince him to help us killing the orcs. Keeshan tells us that when we're ready to meet him and Bravo Company at the dock on Lake Everstill to set off on a boat for Camp Everstill. When we get to the camp, Keeshan asks for a report from Danforth. Danforth tells him the Blockrock Orcs blew up the bridge leading to the Stonewatch Keep, that a frontal assault is out of the question. Krakow tells Keeshan that there are 2 ways to get behind enemy lines, 3 if you count being dead. North through Ulthur's Mill, but we'd have to cut through an army of bloodthirsty wargs, or south through Render's Village. Keeshan asks Jorgensen what he knows about Render's Valley. Blockrock Orcs all over the damn place, 1 main tower at the choke and 2 smaller huts. It's a death trap. Keeshan has a plan, but is gonna need some Seaphorium, and getting the Seaphorium is Messner's problem. And finally we need to get our crap together, because Keeshan's sending us into the field. It's orc killing time, but before that we need to get a field kit together, and Keeshan wants us to meet up with a buddy of his, Brubaker, who was sent here by SI7 to scout the area. Krakow wants us to collect some leaves and fox poop to put together some camouflage for the field kit. Danforth tells us that there are Blockrock hunters scouting the area and they need to be defeated for our plan to succeed. And finally, Messner tells us to collect some muck dweller glands from the muck dwellers at the bottom of the lake, so he can use them to create some chloroform to incapacitate any enemies without making a sound. So, first of all we collect 8 muck dweller glands so that Messner can make the chloroform. We collect the fox poop and leaves to create the camouflage, kill the Blockrock hunters scouting the area, and finally find Brubaker, who is dead and strung on a board. Searching through his pockets, we find a note telling us that the orcs are committing unspeakable atrocities against prisoners of war they have in cages. Back at the camp, we give the leaves and poop to Krakow, who makes the camouflage, give the muck dweller glands to Messner, who makes the chloroform. Tell Danforth we've killed the Blockrock hunters scouting the area, and finally give the note to Keeshan. Things have gotten complicated, and we can't just blow up the valley, so we have to go and free the prisoners from their cage. Using the Bravo Company field kit, we camouflage ourselves and head into the orc camp. In the cave to the north, we knock out an orc with the chloroform and collect the key from a pouch hanging from the wall, and head over to the prisoners' cages. We use the key to unlock the Blockrock holding pens and free the prisoners. With the prisoners gone, it's time to initiate Operation Endall, which entails us stealthing around the valley and planting Seaphorium charges at the top of the tower and in the Blockrock munitions hut. So we head to the top of the tower and plant the first Seaphorium charge, and then plant the other Seaphorium charge in the Blockrock munitions hut. It's time to get out of here, and we head to the Shalewind Canyon to the west and meet up with Bravo Company. We tell Keeshan that we've planted the Seaphorium charges and it's time to blow up Render's Valley. Keeshan exclaims, "That's how we do it in Bravo Company." However, we still have some more things to clean up. Keeshan has received some information that the gnolls in the Galadel Valley to the north are being controlled by a powerful magus in the Tower of Legala, and that the gnoll general Fangor has the key to us getting inside the tower. Danforth tells us it's time to initiate Operation Extinction and to kill any Shadowhide gnolls we see. In a cave in the valley we find General Fangor, kill him and collect the key to us entering the tower. Then Keeshan contacts us over the radio telling us it's time for Phase 2. We need to use the key to get into the tower and kill Grand Magus Duan. At the bottom of the tower we use the key to break the ward blocking the front door, and boom, we're in. Heading up the tower we kill the last of the Shadowhide gnolls and complete the quest. Then at the top we finally confront Grand Magus Duan. As we're about to defeat the Grand Magus, they manage to teleport away. We head back to Keeshan at the canyon and tell him the Grand Magus teleported away. A payload comes in, a massive siege tank floating down on a parachute, and a Colonel Troutman on the inside. It's time to start cleaning up this mess, and Troutman wants us to use the siege tank to clear a path to Keeshan's post on the other side of the valley. So it's orc killing time. Clearing the path is easy work with the tank and the help of Keeshan on the top turret. We eventually make it to Keeshan's post, after exiting the tank and talk to Troutman again. The only thing left for us to deal with is the orcs holding the Stonewatch Keep, the two High Commanders, Tharil Zun and Gathel Zog. All of Bravo Company join us to take down the commanders. At the entrance to the keep we fight and defeat Tharil Zun and his two elite Blackrock champions. And at the other side of the keep we find Gathel Zog, and with the help of everyone we manage to defeat the second High Commander. But before we can celebrate we get a message from Colonel Troutman, telling us the Blackrocks have the upper hand and we need to get Bravo Company out of here, as a massive black dragon flies in, and transforms into the Grand Magus we fought earlier. It appears they were behind this the whole time, telling us there is no way that the orcs could have had the presence of mind required for an invasion of this magnitude, and that now we will die as paltry offerings to Deathwing, and their march on Stormwind begins. The Magus turns back into their dragon form and a fight begins. Eventually the dragon seems to become bored of the fight, and breathes fire on all of us, killing all the members of Bravo Company except for Keeshan. The dragon then picks up Keeshan and tells him that he will die, and that the world already has enough heroes. With that, the dragon flies off over the Everstill Lake, and we head back to Colonel Troutman, still safe at Keeshan's point. He tells us that the other members of Bravo Company are heroes who died fighting for the Alliance, and as the last remaining member of Bravo Company it is our job to return to Lakeshire and inform Magistrate Solomon that we have managed to stop the Blockrock Orc invasion, but that it came at a heavy cost. Back in the Lakeshire Town Hall, Magistrate Solomon tells us that Bravo Company will never be forgotten, and what they sacrificed in order to save Redridge will be told for ages to come. Finally, it seems Keeshan's headband had been recovered, and Troutman has told Solomon that Keeshan would have wanted us to have it. And that's the end of the Redridge Mountains storyline. Achievement unlocked. Thanks for watching and I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more and remember to click the like button. Join back next time when we will be venturing into Duskwood. Until then, have a good day and see ya!